Most men don't understand what's really happening when a woman pulls back. They take her silence as rejection, her coldness as disinterest. But what if I told you? She's not cold, she's guarded. That pause you feel between texts. The hesitation in her voice, the sudden shift from warm to distant. It's not because she doesn't feel anything. It's because she does, and that feeling scares her more than it excites her. See, a lot of women have history. Emotional scars from men who promised one thing and delivered something else. They've been vulnerable before and got hurt. So now, even when they meet a guy they're genuinely drawn to, their first instinct isn't to open up, it's to protect themselves. That protection looks like distance. Slower replies, sudden changes in tone. And most guys, they panic. They try harder. They over-explain, over-promise, try to fix something that isn't actually broken. But what they don't realize is that every time they chase harder, they're confirming her fear. This guy wants me to trust him too fast. What actually breaks that wall down isn't pressure. It's presence. It's the way you carry yourself in the silence. The way you don't react. When you're able to stay grounded, calm, and confident, even when she's unsure, that's when you become different in her eyes. Because unlike the others, you're not demanding her energy. You're not shaken by her walls. You're just standing still, sure of yourself. And in that stillness, she finds something rare. Safety. Safety doesn't come from words. It comes from a man's ability to be unfazed, to hold space without begging to fill it. And when she sees that, when she feels that, that's when she starts to lean in. Not because you chased, but because she finally felt safe enough to. Most guys think when a woman goes quiet, she's lost interest. But the truth is, even in her silence, she's still watching. In fact, that's when she watches the most. She notices how you handle the distance. Do you panic, double text, try to force a response? Or do you stay calm, keep your pace, and continue living your life? Because that moment right there tells her everything she needs to know about you. It's not about the words you say. It's about the energy you hold when there's nothing left to say. Women are intuitive. They pick up on the smallest things. How your tone changes when she pulls back. Whether your confidence crumbles when she doesn't instantly respond. She's not ignoring you to be cruel. She's observing, testing the waters, wondering, is this guy steady or is he like the rest? What you do when she's not looking closely, that's when she's looking the hardest. She pays attention to how emotionally stable you are. She wants to know, can you handle her without needing to control her? She doesn't need you to flood her with attention. She doesn't need long paragraphs trying to figure things out. What attracts her is your ability to keep moving forward, centered, grounded, and unfazed. That quiet energy, the kind that says, I'm good with or without this, that's what catches her attention. It's not arrogance, it's presence. It shows that you're not waiting on her to validate your worth. You're already living with purpose. That kind of man, he becomes unforgettable. She may not respond immediately, but trust me, she notices. And if there's something real inside her, it's that calm, steady presence that will bring it out. Not pressure, not performance. Just you, fully grounded in who you are. Have you ever noticed that the more attention you give her, the less interested she seems? You compliment her, text her often, show her you care, and somehow it pushes her away. That's not because she doesn't appreciate attention. It's because attention is everywhere. It's easy to get. What's rare, what actually draws her in, is mystery. See, most guys think giving more is the key to winning her over, but in reality, the guy who leaves something to the imagination, the one who doesn't explain every thought or broadcast every emotion, is the one she can't stop thinking about. Mystery creates attention that attention never will. When she doesn't know what you're thinking, when she's unsure what your next move is, her mind stays on you. Not because you're playing games, but because you're not laying everything out. You've got a life beyond her and you don't feel the need to constantly perform or prove anything. That's powerful. This isn't about ignoring her. It's about being selective. About sharing just enough to connect, but not so much that she loses interest. Because the more she feels like she already has you, the less curious she becomes. Curiosity is fuel for attraction. It's what makes her check your profile again. It's what makes her wonder why you didn't respond right away. It's what makes her talk about you with her friends. There's something about him I can't figure out. That something is your presence, your depth, your refusal to chase or overexpose yourself. When you're living a life filled with purpose, with goals, with energy that isn't constantly directed at her, she feels it. And she wants to be closer, not to the man who needs her attention, but to the man who doesn't need to be seen to be felt. Women don't follow your words, they follow your energy. It's not what you say that leaves an impression. It's how you carry yourself. If you show up anxious, needy, or unsure, she'll sense it immediately. And whether she realizes it consciously or not, she'll start to pull back. But when your energy is calm, grounded, and steady, she starts to relax. Because women naturally mirror what they feel. Your state becomes her state. Think about it. If you're always seeking her validation, if your mood shifts based on whether she texted you back or not, she's going to feel like she's in control of the emotional tone. And that's not attractive. But if she sees that you're consistent no matter what, that you're not shaken by her silence or her moods, she begins to see you as something entirely different. Not just a guy who wants her, but a man who can handle her. That emotional steadiness is rare. It's not loud. It doesn't beg for attention. It just is. And in a world full of men who get thrown off by the smallest change in a woman's behavior, being unshaken makes you stand out. She'll test you, sometimes without even realizing it. She'll go cold, act distant, be difficult just to see how you respond. If you flinch, she loses interest. But if you stay centered, present, but not reactive, that's when she starts to let her guard down. When she sees that your confidence doesn't depend on her approval, she begins to trust you. And when she trusts you, she opens up. Because now you're not just attractive, you're safe. Not in a boring way, but in a rare masculine way that makes her feel like she can finally stop pretending. She'll match your calm with her softness. Your strength becomes her security. There's a moment when everything shifts, the moment you stop waiting. Most men stay stuck in limbo, waiting for her to text back, waiting for her to decide, waiting for a sign. But women can feel that energy. They can sense when you're in standby mode, orbiting their attention, hoping to be chosen. And that energy? It's not attractive. It feels uncertain, and uncertainty doesn't inspire desire. What flips the script is when you stop waiting and start living. Not pretending to be busy, actually being busy, focused on your mission, your goals, your growth. When your attention moves from her to your purpose, she feels that shift. Suddenly, you're not checking your phone every few minutes. You're not watching her stories hoping for a sign. You're building something, evolving, becoming better. And that absence? It creates space. She feels it, not because you ghosted her, but because you no longer revolve around her. That kind of detachment isn't indifference. It's powerful presence. It shows her that your life doesn't pause for her decisions. And here's the thing, if she ever truly felt something for you, that space will pull her in. Not out of guilt or pressure, but out of curiosity and recognition. She'll see that you're no longer trying to prove anything. You're just being fully in your own lane. That makes you magnetic. Because now you're no longer the guy, waiting to be validated. You're the man she has to catch up to. It's not about making her jealous with other women. It's about letting her see that you've outgrown the need to be picked. And when she realizes she's no longer your center, and you didn't replace her with someone else, but with your purpose, that's when the real shift happens. You stop being an option. You become the standard.